That'll work. It is game day for
And
us.
are the food scientists getting ready to record episode 155? I'm sorry that you all couldn't be with us as we were getting set up here because I was talking all about my tongue.
Did you say 155?
151.
Yes.
It is 151.
Hey, Bob.
Episode 151, when we have the Naughty Treat from India.
We also have the munchies, but don't spread rumors. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no.
We have a lot of Lay's products.
We have Lay's
Right
and
now, that's
munchies
fine.
and
It's probably more
treats.
entertaining, but, yeah.
Ooh,
Hi, Pops.
this is going to be a thing. You ready to do a thing?
Oh, you want to just launch right into it? Sure, we can launch right into
I'm
it.
out of not funny. I'm out of not funny things to say, so we should do the funny ones.
I know, you're at risk. You have so many jokes stored up this week. I know that you don't.
I'm trying to get them out. I'm trying to Brian and Amy will tell you that I had some where I'm like, I really want to say this and I really shouldn't say this on the podcast. So I am just going to tell you 5 times so it stops being funny for me. The downside is
everyone.
it's still funny for me.
Hi, Heather. Hi, Lindley.
Yeah, hi, Heather and Lindley.
They've assured me that it's not funny, but it's still funny to me.
I'm a good friend like that.
Yeah.
Hi, Kim.
Hey, Kim. Hello,
I'm okay.
Heather.
Hello, anybody who joins in the next few minutes, because we're going to do our thing, right?
Yeah.
We're going to.
Yeah, they only get the wave, those of you that show up before we actually start recording.
Yeah.
Hi, Heather.
Oh, we're pausing. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that we were pausing. You didn't say pause.
That's fine. It's just more work for Amy now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. This is the Food Scientist Podcast. I am your host, Amy Zajac. I am here with Brian Pierce
Hello, everyone.
and Danny Sussman.
Hello, everyone, plus everyone's friends, family, relatives, future descendants, and ancestors.
Is that like Infinity Plus One that you just did? there?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Because I'm forever trying to appear nicer than you.
Just trying. You don't know that
Trying.
you succeed, though.
No, I will never be nicer than Brian, but I
Yeah.
can look,
Yeah.
I can seem nicer than Brian.
You can.
briefly.
You're trying to attain a goal.
Right. It's just an appearance, not an actual. I'll never be nicer than Brian because I'm kind of a jerk. But
No, Danny, I have to say, Danny is a really good friend. He really is. But I was getting way too many compliments recently. I almost texted him to be like, make me feel bad because this
Yeah.
is too much. And
That's true.
He would have done that.
he actually did say that. He was like, I was so close to texting you and being like, I need you to insult me because I'm feeling too good about myself.
So there you go. That's Danny's other job there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
bringing
we will.
Brian back to earth. Welcome to the podcast, everybody.
We will have our food news and experiences. Then we're going to talk about some game day Lay's potato chips. And we're going to compare Cheetos Crunch Pop Mix to Munchies. And we've got 3 treats. They're actually brand name treat, and they are sandwich cookies, which we'll be talking about. So anyway.
Anyways, I ate something this week that was crazy, and I want to go right to experiences.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Go for it.
Because this is just burning inside me. I went to an ice cream shop that had they called it a donut ice cream sandwich.
Okay.
But really what they did is they took a donut, they warmed it, they cut it in half, they put it in the bottom of a tray, then they built an enormous sundae on top of that half of a donut, then they popped a second donut on top of it, and then a little whipped cream on top of that, and called it a sandwich. And I think someone on my Instagram said the only way it would actually be a sandwich is if you also planned on eating the box.
What?
Too messy. I saw the picture.
Yeah. I mean, an ice cream sandwich that you buy in the stores, that's pre-frozen. So that's why you can do that. But if you're making soft serve ice cream or something that's pretty, loose, when you bite into that, it's all over the place.
Right.
Yeah.
And this thing was enormous. Like this, my hands were maybe not big enough to even try to hold it as a sandwich.
Your mouth?
But I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about the alternatives because they called it a sandwich, but it was a sundae with donuts on the top and bottom. Could you have eaten that as a sandwich, Brian?
I could have tried, but it would have been hard.
You do it, and then your hands are just gross and sticky, and
And they
whatever.
hurt because they've been pushed to their limits. Or you're like the Incredible Hulk and have monster hands.
Could you have
Or
done
a future.
smash burgered it? You could have just smashed it down.
I would not do that to a donut or to ice cream.
The only way you could do that is if you played, is it bite size? And this does not sound like it was bite size.
This would have been like face size. But, so they had the donut ice cream sandwich, but they had two other options. They also have a waffle ice cream sandwich, which makes sense, right? It's about the same thing.
Yeah,
Might be a little
but
sturdier, though.
But then they had a pancake ice cream sandwich where they would put a pancake on the bottom and top, presumably. But that got me thinking. What if you took a pancake and put ice cream on it, right? And then all of your toppings, and then wrapped the pancake around it and ate it like a taco.
I want to
that
say
be
I've
good?
seen that somewhere, some similar concept, but I don't know.
Would
I
it be
think-
good? Would you eat
Depends.
it, Brian?
Oh, I'd eat it.
Right. Would that be a taco? Like Choco tacos are like the waffle cone.
Yeah. I mean, it could be.
It's a soft shell taco.
I worry about it getting to be a soggy mess, but I feel like you could make up for that by just eating it really fast.
Yeah, the ice cream would definitely make the pancake soggy super quick. So I think the waffle is definitely the better choice. Also, the waffle has the built-in little cups to catch any spillage.
That's true. And this also reminds us, key buffet tip, right? Brian and I, Brian's at the buffet now. For those of you watching on YouTube, you can see he actually moved into one about 6 weeks ago and hasn't left because he has no reason to.
Well, no, see, like they have it just here up, but no, it's not open, so I'm the only one here, so it's safe.
So it's potentially income and nourishment and entertainment. What more do you need? So, anyways, brunch buffet. It can be hit or miss, but can always be saved by the buffet hack, which is go to the breakfast section, get yourself a waffle, go to the dessert section, get yourself some ice cream, and then gather and build yourself the greatest sundae of buffets. That I just wanted to take a moment as we talked about the waffle ice cream sandwich to bring back that buffet tip. Because
Yes.
I've been to some brunches where I'm like, oh, this is a sad buffet. And then I did that and I was like, oh yeah, this was a good time.
I know,
Makes sense to me because I love vanilla ice cream with maple syrup on it in general. That's just so good. So
Yeah,
add in the
I put that on
waffle
a
and
waffle,
everything. Yeah.
I mean, my brunch buffet tip, if they ever open up again, is just to get one donut and make a sundae out of that. And that
also works.
In my
Maybe
brunch
next time
buffet,
we'll have you make an ice cream sandwich out of it.
We'll try it.
You know what we'll do though is it seems like a lot of work for you to cut because you have to take the donut, bring it back to your table, cut it in half. To do that, just use 2 donuts.
No, I'm not fancy. You know I'm not that fancy.
Yeah, no,
I
you do
would
2
rip
donuts.
that donut just in half. Right
Oh, that
there.
works too.
You know, just standing right there.
yeah, I was gonna say my brunch buffet tip is to go with you two guys because if you do anything wrong, you'll know it right away because you'll just walk away and
Yeah,
it's like you don't
that's
know.
pretty much.
No, we
Yeah,
will
and,
shout. We will shout. Like, I can't believe she did that. Then we'll walk away.
Or you'll
Yeah.
if you catch it before they've done something wrong, you might like grab their arm and pull them away. Otherwise, no.
It depends on our mood and how much correcting your mistakes is going to interfere with our consumption.
That's how you learn from them.
Because that's just taking time away from us getting to start eating. So
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, really what you should do is not do what Amy does, but instead follow us and do exactly as we do and learn.
Even if you don't like the food they're getting.
opposite.
Yeah. It's like crossing the street in Italy. The only way to effectively learn, because there's no traffic signals and crazy traffic, the only way to learn to effectively cross the street in Italy is to find someone that knows how to cross the street in Italy and just follow them. Because they know how to park the traffic and how to time it. And if you just stay right on their tail, traffic won't hit you either. And you do that enough times and you pick up the trips of the trade without them stopping to yell at you and without you being flattened. That's my food experience, everybody.
Well, since we're on experiences, Brian, do you want to go with your experience, or do you want to flip to the news, or what?
I don't know if people are right. I'm going to be educational this week.
Oh, God.
Like, I have multiple educational things. So, okay, it's going to take me a second for this to make sense. Okay, but as to why I'm saying it on this show. But I went to the dentist this week. No cap.
I mean, I think I know why this makes sense for this show.
Right. No, people are always saying, like, I bet your dentist loves you. Well, no, I take care of my teeth. And, like, you know.
He doesn't get cavities, guys. And gals,
I don't either.
And everything else.
I do, just not often. Just not like, you know, people think.
I had 2 in my life, and the last one, I didn't even need Novocaine when they filled it. They're like, oh, I could do this without anesthesia. It's barely even a cavity.
Versus me, who was allergic to fluoride as a kid, so I have fillings in many of my teeth, shall we say.
Don't follow us in buffets, Amy. You'll get in trouble.
Yeah. But anyway, I had a new hygienist, and this was the first time we were talking. And also, okay, for those of you who are watching live on YouTube, someone remind me when we're done recording the audio here. I have a story that's completely unrelated, but it's good.
Really? I don't wait till after the podcast for those.
The after party. But
teasing the podcast folks to get to the YouTube channel.
But not only did she say that I looked like a teenager, but she's not that far off, you know, from me. Well, Amy, I don't know why you're laughing at that. But I did say, I don't know if I want someone working on my mouth who has bad vision. But after she was nice and said these, you know, complimentary things, she starts yelling at me for drinking coffee. And this was the thing that I didn't know that's educational. She said that coffee has more acidity than vinegar. And she's like, if you're going to drink coffee, you better drink that with a straw only. And I'm like, ooh. So is that a thing? Do people do that? Like drink your
monsters
coffee with straw?
Maybe like if they're getting like one of those like Starbucks coffee flavored candy drinks.
Yeah, like an iced coffee, sure. But like a regular coffee, like I think I'm just going to decline that one.
Do you drink any hot drinks with a straw? I mean, I don't drink hot chocolate with a straw or hot tea. I mean, I know they're not as acidic, but it just seems like it would be.
No. You know what my hygienist once told me?
Localized spot.
You know what my hygienist once told me?
What's that?
She says, you have a very strong mouth.
Yeah. We know that.
We're shocked.
It was probably vocal cords too.
I don't know. I didn't even know how to respond to that. I was just like.
But because I am being so educational, I learned something else this week. Thanks to TikTok, there's a trend, and I discussed this, and Amy already knows this, but Danny doesn't. So anyone who is watching us right now, or if you're listening, feel free to pause if you need to do this. I have an assignment for you. So Danny's going to do this right now, and we're going to watch his reaction. Google this. Why were graham crackers invented? So just go ahead and Google that. Why were graham crackers invented? And we'll see.
Don't post it in the chat. We don't want. We want to surprise people.
My autocomplete was suggesting why were chainsaws.
That's another trend, which if people want to look that up later.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah. Why
about the evils of alcohol and coffee
and
other things.
Things that you cannot say on this family show.
I mean, I could. I mean,
you
looking with yourself.
I mean, last week I said, because I love Married with Children, my virtual background is from the set of Married with Children, and I made a reference to doing something Al Bundy does all the time, which is going upstairs to Peggy. Okay. I said that.
Yes. But yes, so graham crackers were invented by a religious figure to help people.
Alexander Graham Bell, it was not.
No.
But
it was to help people not have too much fun when they're alone.
Do you know why s'mores were invented?
Because God loves us?
Right, and because, like, after that, they're like, gotta make it up to you, so why don't you take these things and add some chocolate and marshmallow?
But they've actually improved the flavor of graham crackers since the initial inception. The initial inception was supposed to be so bland and boring that it gave you not even thoughts to wanting more food, let alone any other appetites. So now they're a little better.
So how did you get down that TikTok rabbit hole, Brian?
You know, do you have TikTok, Danny?
I keep saying I should, and then I
Yeah,
think better of it.
you know, it's the thing where there's just a main feed and it just shows you whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You can subscribe and follow people, and but yeah, it will just be random videos.
You didn't mean to. It's just a thing that happened.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's a lot in there that I'm like, didn't need that.
TikTok, you don't stop.
Okay, Kesha, what's your experience this week?
Hey, I don't have an experience.
She's been eating a lot of graham crackers.
I've been tracking down the munchies. No. No.
All right, so news. Who has
news? I have a couple news items.
Right,
one's going to be pretty quick. So I'm just going to go for it. In more Oreo news, there's a new line of funfetti Oreo products that will be out in February. It includes pancake mix, frosting, vanilla, and chocolate cake mixes, and brownie mix. It's interesting because now that funfetti has become part of the brand name, but also, geez, I mean, how much Oreo can Oreo get?
I mean, once they did the candy canes, there was no stopping them.
Nope.
I mean, and then with funfetti becoming an official brand name, and funfetti Oreo, not just funfetti. Anyway, in what I consider to be more interesting news for me personally, in honor of National Peanut Butter Day, which is on the day we're recording this, but not releasing it, so or when you're listening to it.
It's a thing that happened.
Yeah, Butterfingers put out a teaser about Butterfinger crispy, crunchy peanut butter in their social media stories and asked people to take a vote. And it had a caption of just kidding, ... unless ? So it might be a thing that happens because on Instagram, at least, it is winning by a landslide that people want it.
I don't know if I want peanut butter with shards.
It depends how crunchy it is, because they did change their formula, right?
But it still has shards.
You know, I would take peanut butter with shards. That's fine. But my question about that is, do people not remember when Reese's released peanut butter?
I loved that.
It's
I
still
loved the
around.
Reese's peanut butter.
But who's talking about it? Like, who's like, oh, hey, I love the Reese's brand of peanut butter. Because it's not the peanut butter that you get in the peanut butter cup.
I know, but it was sweeter than the other peanut butters, which I liked.
Do you know what I find interesting about peanut butter? Is America's Test Kitchen a number of years ago did tasting of peanut butters, right? Like they do all different products where they bring in groups of people and they have them blind sample different products to determine which is the best one. And when they did peanut butter, the results were not like anything they'd ever done before. Do you know what won?
Mm-mm.
It was whatever peanut butter you ate as a child.
That makes sense.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
Like, there's all the different peanut butters had different, they taste like some are more sweeter than others. There's just different variations on them. But people were able to pick out the one that they had started eating as children and pointed to that as their preferred peanut butter. Because they were like, wow, this is like really even. Like the distribution is not what we would expect. It's not like, eventually something, rising to the top. But that was why.
I mean, that really makes sense because I grew up in a Skippy household, and that is by far the one that I prefer the most.
Right. So I thought that was interesting. So good luck, Butterfinger. Maybe if you make it for the kids, 40 years from now, you're going to have a really big seller on your hands.
Well, it's easy to hedge your bets. Make it a limited edition, and if it goes over well, bring it back. If not, it was never meant to.
I do hope that Butterfingers makes the peanut butter, though. I would like to try that just to see what they come up with that makes it.
Yeah.
Right. And then you'll go back to Skippy.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I'm going to start calling you Skippy. You seem like a guy that should be named Skippy.
If you really want to, I've been called worse.
Yeah. In the chat, Corey, Skippy for life. And see, now he's part of your fan club.
Well, yeah, I mean, Skippy is a bonding agent.
Yeah.
Okay, I have news about 7-Up. They are coming out with a new version of 7-Up. The original is still sticking around, but they are coming out with Simple 7-Up. It's actually already starting to hit some places. It's just simple ingredients, Nothing that you wouldn't know what it is. It's only these 6 ingredients: filtered carbonated water, sugar, citric acid, extract, not lemon acid, lime extract, and then the one that is making people say, "What are you doing, 7-Up?" Because the last ingredient is stevia leaf extract.
Yeah, that's a sweetener.
But they already have sugar in it.
Yep.
So I'm not quite sure why they have both.
So I like that it said sugar and not like corn syrup. So.
Yeah. So I'm natural cane sugar. So I don't know, but when people saw the stevia, they were like, "I'm out. I'm not buying this."
Too healthy for them.
I really don't know. A lot of people just hate the taste.
Yeah, I gotta say it's an acquired taste, I think.
So
yeah, this is the last one. So sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Now I say, as we move on to my news item, unless you want to keep talking about this. So my news item, it's been in stores for a little while now, but I haven't talked about it yet. So one of my just guilty pleasures is the Good Humor chocolate eclair bar. We've talked about that. You see the strawberry shortcake one around more, but the chocolate eclair, and all of them they're the same, right? It's like the flavored ice cream in the center, and then like a vanilla ice cream, and then the flavored ice cream, and then like some sort of crunch on the outside. There's an Oreo version too, right? Are you familiar?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love them.
There's a new one that's out. Pop-Tart brown sugar cinnamon.
Oh, that could be.
But
I think we talked about that as a news item a long time ago. Is it finally out?
It is out in stores. I don't remember talking about it, but I was looking at the package in the store and the big new. There's no Pop-Tarts involved in it. Because it's just like the regular crunch that would be on like the strawberry shortcake and the chocolate eclair, but in brown.
Well, brown sugar and
like
cinnamon.
Brown sugar and cinnamon flavored, but not like crust. And it's just a brown sugar cinnamon ice cream. Like, what makes it Pop-Tart other than the fact that they put the words Pop-Tart on the box?
Well, that's
It's flavor
interesting
combo.
because that tells me that
It might be good.
Well, maybe, but they think if they just called it brown sugar cinnamon whatever, they think it will do better being called Pop-Tart. So they join forces with them to market it that way.
I mean, you wouldn't want the Pop-Tart pastry on it, would you?
No, it's gross. But I feel like if adding Pop-Tarts is what you need to make your thing better, you maybe need to do some soul searching.
But I feel like that's one of the, the cornerstone Pop-Tarts out there. I think if people said what their favorite one was, a lot of people would say the brown sugar cinnamon.
We know it's mine. It's still my favorite Pop-Tart.
It's probably
Does it try to kill you? The cinnamon doesn't kill you in it?
No, it's more brown sugar. I don't eat them that often. I can't even remember. The last time I ate Pop-Tarts was probably for this podcast, so it's been a long time.
Are we going to enter a world where Pop-Tarts are the new Oreos?
It'll be a while before they get to funfetti Pop-Tart level.
Danny? I'm going to say no because when they came out with those root beer Pop-Tarts, and was it the 7-Up Pop-Tarts that were nasty? I think they learned a lesson there.
So now they're just putting the Pop-Tart name on everything.
Well, I mean, the originals, the OG Pop-Tarts are still good. But when they try doing new things...
Yeah, and in the chat, Silly Sally is saying that crust is good in ice cream. I agree with that.
Well,
like
yeah.
a pie crust in there. Like, I think they actually might have been better off, except for the fact that it would have been Pop-Tart crust.
Well, like when we put Sarah's Tipsy Pies into the Drunken Milkshakes, that was really good.
Oh my gosh.
So good. The pie shakes.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Mm.
That was good crust, though. I'm going to just remind you, Danny, a few years back, was it 3-4 years ago, when Dairy Queen had their first version of the apple pie blizzard? It was just frozen pie crust ground up in the blizzard. It was not good.
Right.
No, it wasn't.
That was a reflection of the pie crust, not of the concept.
Right. Exactly.
All right. Any other news? Shall we move on?
Oh, you know what? Because we're going to be talking about this next week, hopefully, gluten-free Oreos are starting to hit.
Right.
So look for them. We know we're going to look for them.
Yes, we're going to try them.
In regular and double stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I really appreciate it's something that is clearly gluten-free, but also still not healthy.
Hey, you know what? Oreo are now gluten-free. Reese's are gluten-free. So
Yeah, Reese's have been gluten-free for a long time.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not a bad lifestyle. All right,
Okay.
I deterred you from moving along.
Are you ready for some game day lays?
Yes, I'm ready for some football.
Limited time flavor, game day chili. And it looks like a normal bowl of
potato
chili.
chip.
Yeah, so these might be the scariest thing for me this week.
There's a lot going on the package because on the
yeah,
package
look at this.
you have chili with sour cream, with cheese, with some chunks of tomato. There's some chives. There's a lot going on.
And look at the back side panel too. It shows you from the chopping all the way down.
Right. And somehow all of those flavors enter a powder on a potato chip.
They smell really good. I'm hopeful.
They do smell. They kind of smell like chili Cheetos. Not
Do you
Cheetos.
like chili, Brian?
Fritos, chili Fritos. They smell like.
I like several kinds of chili, but I mean, you know what I don't like, so there's certain things that will be a deal breaker.
So if this is spicy, this is going to be a
That's what
problem.
I'm worried about. Spicy or too much onion? All right. Oh,
Kind of
There's a
has the
little
chili-
heat.
chili Frito taste, but in a potato chip.
There's a little heat and a lot of weirdness.
It's
It
very.
almost tastes tomatoey, like too tomatoey.
The spice is sneaking up on me.
I gotta get one with a lot more flavor on it. Okay.
This is the slowest acting spice I think I felt. Like it's still not too much. Like I'm not.
They're not that salty. Danette in chat asked, and they're really not that salty. I mean, for a potato chip, it's not like they're no salt or anything, but
They taste like chili powder.
kinda.
It's better than that. But
There's like no heat. Smells like the chili Fritos, but does not taste like a corn chip. But it tastes like the chili dust on them.
it
You know what
tastes
I
like
say?
canned chili.
Yeah. You know what I say about this? Where's the beef?
Yeah, it's kind of bland for a chili chip.
Yeah. The meat. I want my chili to have meat in it. And I don't taste the meat. It's a meat flavored potato chip that tastes, it's not like vegetarian chili because there's no beans. I can tell you there's no beans in this chili.
No, there's not.
That spice just keeps on building, doesn't it? It's making me a little nervous.
Oh, I'm not even feeling it at all.
Really? I like it's
Really?
still not bad, but like
I've
it's.
had like 6 or 7 chips.
There's not a lot of spice, but it's there.
Mm-hmm. I think
Okay,
I like these, but not more than a regular Lay's potato chip.
they would be good in onion dip because they're kind of bland for a chili chip. So I want to put something on them.
They're appropriately limited edition.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
these are definitely something that you would want to pair it up with something.
This way, I'd say this. When you have your party for the big game, if you're like, you know what, I don't really feel like making chili, put these out. People will still be disappointed because you're not serving you're not serving great chili, but you're not serving...
Well, here's the thing, though. People probably aren't having parties. At least I hope a lot of people aren't having parties this year yet. But you can still overeat alone. That's fine.
That's true.
Yeah, and it's a great excuse.
All the disappointment of chili without all the effort.
Yeah. But speaking of being paired up with something, there also is... Maybe you want to overeat this. I'm
Cheetos
getting-
Crunch Pop Mix.
Yeah, it's just Cheetos popcorn and Cheetos.
It's a lot of Cheeto.
2 favorites together, it says.
I mean, Chester Cheetah is clearly psyched about this.
He is.
Fluffy, airy
On the package.
popcorn and the crunchiness you love.
I'm excited about this. Because I love Cheetos.
Okay, I have a lot of popcorn. Maybe
Yeah, mine's all popcorn on the top.
I think
Yeah, you gotta shake it up a little bit. But it is all very orange.
Oh, I have a plate. I can pour some of this out to get to the Cheetos. Oh, there's a Cheeto. I think the Cheeto to popcorn ratio is not good.
Ooh. I like this. This is like really like movie theater fake buttery popcorn, but coated in Cheeto, plus the crunch of Cheetos. I'm in.
I like the Cheetos popcorn because I liked it last time we had it. I just wish there were more Cheetos in here.
the texture of the Cheeto really adds something to the popcorn. I thought it might be too hard and too distracting. It complements it well.
I poured out like half the bag, and there's like 3 Cheetos in there.
Amy, stop complaining and start eating. This stuff is magic.
I did eat it, and I'm saying there's not enough crunch for me. And looking in the bag, there's like 3 more Cheetos.
Can we end the podcast so I can run off with this stuff?
I want more Cheetos. I want 50-50. That's not 50-50.
That'd be a lot of Cheetos compared to popcorn.
Whatever it is.
50-50.
I'm here for it.
I like the Cheetos popcorn.
I do wonder here with my orange fingers, my dirty, dirty orange fingers, how do they compare to the original Cheetos and Friends? Because Cheetos has always been kind of like looking around, seeing who I could get in the bag with. And I'm glad to see it's now settled down with popcorn, because there was a time, which it still goes on, when Cheetos is getting together with Doritos, Sun Chips, and Rolled Gold for, getting a cheese fix. Which we've talked about this before on the podcast, most underrated item in the snack food aisle.
Finding these, if people are like, I've never seen these, they're on the bottom row hidden.
They always hide them. I think because they know once you have these, you'll never go back to them individually.
I've always found them on the top row at a gas station. But they're just one, not even a section. So it's like chips, Doritos, whatever, one bag of these. And
okay.
So these obviously have a lot more different things in them.
I mean, Danny, you were saying that these are all Frito-Lay products. It's just a nice variety. It's kind of like Frito-Lay roulette when you're eating these.
Mm-hmm.
Doritos, Cheetos, Sun Chips, and Rolled Gold.
Except, you know what? Here's the thing. This Frito-Lay roulette is likable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, but if you ever wanted to just, stick your hand into Frito-Lay roulette and see what comes out.
You can get at least 3 things at once with a small handful here. You're not digging for one or the other.
You know what, Danny? 50 million Frenchmen can't be wrong.
I mean, I've never really wanted a face full of Frito-Lay roulette, but I'm kind of here for it. Definitely more than a mouthful.
But here's the thing about Munchies. I would like it much more if it didn't have the pretzels.
I was thinking the same thing. And I do like Rolled Gold cheese pretzels, but I just don't need them in this.
So which is the evil twin? Right? Mm-hmm. Cheetos has been shacking up with popcorn and shacking up with... I don't even know if at this point it's a shack up. It's more of like a group engagement.
Yeah, you know what? I think because of the pretzels, you would think that more would be better. More things, but the pretzels are just distracting me too much. I gotta go with Munchies. Sorry, Danny, are the evil twin, and the new Cheetos Crunch Pop mix is the good twin.
Amy?
I am calling Munchies the good twin.
Munchies is which twin for you, Amy?
Good. There's more Cheetos in it. There's more of everything in it. And while I don't love the pretzels in it, getting the hard crunch of the Cheeto with the softer crunch of the Sun Chip and the Doritos, just yummy. I mean, the cheese popcorn and Cheetos are too. Don't get me wrong. I'll finish that bag quickly.
I love Cheetos. Love, love, love Cheetos. I think Munchies are... I love Munchies. The Munchies, I'm with Brian. The Munchies are the evil twin because the popcorn, the crunch mix, is just Cheeto turned up a notch.
See, and I think the Munchies have more Cheetos in them. The Munchies actually have more Cheetos in them than the Cheetos.
The Munchies are polluted by Doritos.
Oh, Doritos are yummy.
See, and I think it's the pretzels that pollute, but that's kind of the thing. It's too many cooks in there, mixing it up.
In any case, if you want to know how to get me to stop talking on this podcast, give me stuff with a lot of Cheetos in it. Mm-hmm. It's become the Amy show.
I mean, that being said, there is one point I want to make here. There are 2 things that this world needs more of. Love and compassion for your fellow man, and variety snack packs.
Well, I was going to say Cheetos.
I said Cheetos, but yeah.
Well, see, I'm not limiting myself to Cheetos.
But your variety snack pack should have Cheetos in it.
Yes.
I want a Cheetos in it. Variety pack, all in one package.
You just want to have a bunch of snacks, get it on together.
Yeah. Valentine's Day is coming.
Yep.
Oh, I bet it is. So,
Should we
you know
move
what
on
else
to
is?
some treats?
Yeah, something. Are you up for something naughty, Brian?
Yes,
Brittania.
first, I need to address something in the chat. They're talking about Munchos, which is an amazingly underrated chip. It also
What's a
hard to
muncho?
It is, I think it's the same brand. You'll find it with the other like value snacks.
I didn't see Munchos when I was looking for these.
Usually, like they're the things that have the $2 sticker on it. And yeah, Munchos. It's just look them up. They're hard to find, but they are a great chip.
So this actually, if we're gonna talk about that, have you ever had the Chesters, whatever those are? They're like with the Cheetos, but there's like another character. Like it's kind of looks like Chester. It looks like Chester Cheeto, but maybe it's not. I always wonder about it, but I've never tried it because I could just get Cheetos and I have a job, so I don't need the less expensive one.
It is not Chester Cheeto. It's Chester Cheetah.
Whatever. Do you think I remember his name? I just take advantage of him for what he's got for me.
Just eat his dust.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, we were moving on to some not exactly Oreos. They are similar to a product we had a few weeks ago, but different flavors.
They're sandwich cookies by the brand
From India.
Brittania.
Company's
Funky-
Brittania. They're
Funky
made in
Choco.
India. But
Kool
so we have
Vanilla.
3 flavors, right? We have Kool Vanilla, which is basically your basic Oreo, but in India. We have Funky Choco, which is legally not chocolate, but also Oreo. And this is the one I'm here for. The Treat JimJam, which is Naughty Jam flavored. Now, I'll tell you, I bought all of these. We did 3 fruit flavors a few weeks ago. We have these. I bought them all at the same time. So I went with up to the register with 6 different flavors of these Indian Oreos, and enough of them for all 3 of us. And the cashier obviously gave me a bit of a look because it was unusual to buy this many Oreos at once. Although I bet he looked at me and was like, I get it. But he also said to me, these were his favorite. Because they're Oreos with jam. And we'll get
looks
to
like
what
they
it
have a
says
cream
about them on the
filling.
package. They do have a cream filling, but they also have jam.
Yes. So do you want to end with that? You want to start with
Yeah, we're going to end with that. We're going to see how the Oreos line up.
the regular first?
The
The vanilla? Yep.
Kool Vanilla. Just like a regular Oreo, but not made by Oreo. I like the packaging on these, by the way. That you get
Yeah.
the tube, but it's in the little tray, a little boat.
So they don't get all broken.
Right. Although mine still are, but they've been around. So unlike the other treat ones, these do not have a cream-filled hole like we had a few weeks ago.
Oh.
But
But
they
they
do
smell
say treat
chocolatey.
right on them.
And they do separate easily.
The cookie is softer than an Oreo.
They're not too chocolatey.
This is a fine fake Oreo.
Yeah. No, I was expecting the chocolate taste to be more artificial, but it's good.
I don't have a regular Oreo next to me, but this could be in the running against a regular Oreo.
And I have to say this again. People ask us all the time, where do you find all these international foods? There are international markets all over the place. Look around. You will probably find some near you.
Yep, this came from a grocery store that specializes in foods from India. Go to their snack aisle.
Those are solid. I'm surprised.
I am too. I could eat all of those in one sitting. Like sometimes, we had the Hydrox and those were just sad.
Yeah.
These are not sad. These are happy.
I mean, I have to say, it's hard for me to eat an Oreo just as is. I have to dunk it in milk because the cookie is a little too hard. These,
These are softer. These kind of just dissolve in your mouth. It's sort of lovely.
yeah. And we're moving into the chocolate now.
Try the Funky Choco.
These are okay.
I didn't like the smell, so I was reading to see if there was actually coffee in there.
Oh, no coffee. But the chocolate combo kind of gets lost.
Yeah. It's the same like...
Yeah, the vanilla chocolate, that pops right there. That like stands out. But the chocolate isn't doing as much for me.
Right. I agree. There's less contrast. It is the same kind of like almost melt in your mouth cookie, but not.
And the chocolate cream definitely smells like fake.
I mean, I would have to say the same thing about chocolate Oreos. And these I'm liking more than chocolate Oreos.
That's true. I don't know if I like these more than Oreos, but they definitely compete.
Absolutely.
And we have had some that do not.
All right.
Now, are you ready, Brian?
For some Naughty Jam.
Read what it says on the package.
So
It does say naughty, right?
it says, I am the naughty one.
Yes.
Right?
Wild.
I don't know.
Wild
wild
combination of jam
combination.
and cream.
Yeah. I mean, and the picture of it, actually, with it
It's
kind of
kinda
like
hilarious.
crying tears of cream. That or it's being
Oozed
covered
out.
in cream. I don't know what naughty thing it is up to.
It's
But there's a lot of naughtiness on this package.
bursting out.
So it's a vanilla cream cookie with that jam
Jimmy Jam.
in the whole.
I'm excited about this. Yeah, look at that. That thing's a beauty. There's,
Oh, it smells
there's
good.
cream in the middle.
Danny, I know you love these because they taste like something that your grandma would give you.
They do. They taste a lot like Linzer tarts. If you have a Jewish grandmother who used to feed you Linzer tarts, these taste like those.
Dry.
Dry.
I very much enjoy these.
And it's like there's a melted, the candy dots. There's a melted dot in the middle, or juji fruit.
I think it needs a little bit more cream.
I would like to see Oreo try this.
Holy
I don't-
smokes. Okay, I was trying to separate the cookies, but that jam does go all the way through.
I don't want to eat gumdrops with my Oreos.
Go.
This is what golden Oreos are missing, though. Just like a little bit of fruity jelly goodness. I'm here. I'm here for it. I'm with the cashier. These are great. This is something Oreo has never attempted, and they should.
Yeah, it's soft, but it is still a drier cookie than I want. I don't know if milk could save these. In fact, I know it wouldn't.
It would.
I would love to dunk these in milk.
I love that the both of you knew we were having Oreos. Probably have milk in your homes and don't have any on standby.
I'm
Way to prep
recording
for the show,
in a
kids.
different room for the first time, so I'm not as well prepared as I should be. You are right.
I
So,
had a glass of milk sitting out. I didn't think that these would be that much like Oreos. I didn't want to waste the milk.
I'm just going to sit on that for a second and ponder it. I didn't know milk was so hard to come by in your parts.
Well, especially if we make him eat spicy food, he has to guzzle all that milk.
Yeah. So, and in the chat, my sister said CVS has their own brand of these and that are really good. See? She had the same cookies with my grandmother. She knows. So there's 3 of them. Now that we've talked about these reminding me of my grandmother, we get to get super weird and play our game, FMK.
Oh, Frolic with Marry or Kill?
Yeah.
So, Danny, which one do you want to do with your grandma?
Why don't you guys go first, and maybe people forget about that before I have to answer.
Yeah, maybe I'll forget something like that.
Yeah, Brian sounds just like Brian to forget.
Maybe Amy will say something so outrageous that you become fixated on that. Or maybe we'll just remind her how few Cheetos are in her bag of Pop Mix, and we'll go down
there's
a
not enough
45-minute
Cheetos,
hole about that and totally forget about my grandmother.
Don't tell me there's Cheetos in there when there's like 5.
My bag has so many of them.
I am ready to go.
Okay, me too.
This is
You
not a
go.
hard choice for me. I am going to marry the Kool Vanilla because it is a lot like an Oreo, But I'm going to say even better than an Oreo. What? Wasn't expecting that. This is something where we have a good solid core already because, I used to go with your sister and now your twin sister. Now it's just you,
Okay.
who I like better. Yeah, so that's good. So marriage all the way there. Now I really wanted to frolic with the Naughty Jam for obvious reasons, but I gotta kill that one because it just didn't work for me at all. The jam or the jelly or the Laffy Taffy that they put in there, whatever that is, no, the two textures just don't go well for me, so I have to kill that one. So I'm gonna get funky with the funky Choco, and we're gonna frolic. And even though, it's not gonna be a great experience, it'll do the job.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll let Danny keep pondering and eating. I'll go on with mine. We have one thing, at least one thing in common, Brian. We'll see how many. I am marrying the traditional vanilla, the Kool Vanilla. It's a good solid cookie. It's not just a Oreo knockoff. It's just good cookie, tasty, not too dry, not too hard, not too crunchy. It's just, I like it. Doesn't need the milk. But I am going to kill the funky Choco. It smells funky. I can't get past. I don't know what it smells like. It's just not good. It didn't taste bad, but it wasn't. I mean, if I smelled that, I wouldn't be chasing after it for anything. So.
I think it might be a variation of cocoa that you're smelling, Amy.
Well, I cook a lot. I know cocoa, but anyway, but I do smell cocoa in there too, and that's a good thing. So I'm gonna frolic with the JimJam, the Naughty Jam. I do like the flavor combination. I just wish it wasn't quite as dry. So I'll enjoy it for a little while. Then I'll have to, dunk it in milk and try it again, so I can frolic a few times. But that's a lot of work. So stick with the frolic on that. So yeah.
Okay. So Danny, what are you doing with Grandma?
So what I am going to be doing is taking the funky Choco, and there's just something funky about it, and not like we getting funky, there's something funky about this, right? It's like when you open up the carton of milk because you've been saving it for another day, and then you save it for later enough that you open it up and you're like, oh, there's something funky in there. I mean, it doesn't smell. It smells like it should smell. I don't know what happened to the things we shipped to Amy this week, but there's just something fun. There's just something it's got a little funk going on. So that one I'm gonna die. That's dying. And then for frolicking, kind of like Amy said, but the Kool Vanilla, I'm gonna frolic with the Kool Vanilla. Because at first, it does seem like it's just a vanilla Oreo. It's just whatever. But then you get into that and you're like, oh wow, this is better than I was expecting. And then you're like, oh my gosh, look at all of the things I can do with this. You put it in milk. Let's get in the freezer, try it cold. You could do a lot of stuff with this allegedly vanilla Oreo. It's a treat. So this vanilla treat, I'm here for it. That is my frolic. And then the Naughty Jam and I are going to jam. That's all I have to say about it. Thanks for listening, everybody. You've been great. We appreciate everyone.
We're not ending there, Daddy.
Ring the little dinner bell on YouTube. And leave us reviews on Apple. And what are other things we say at the end? Oh, we're on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, and we have a Facebook group.
Brian, I think we need to circle back on something there.
Yeah,
Jamming with his jam.
No, reviews really do help us out, and Danny wants to marry his grandma.
Yeah. So I guess I could say thanks for listening, everybody, and bye-bye.
Have a great
We'll leave you with that.
Bye, everybody.
The things that happen on this show, I don't know sometimes.
And by the way, chat, I love the reference to the Scooby Gang with this.
You're Daphne up in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a
Dr. Gadget.
question. I have a question for our chat. How do you feel about honey buns? The snack cake honey bun.
Oh yeah, do people
And
eat
not just honey buns in general.
like the Little Debbie ones or the Hostess honey buns? Do you eat those?
Because we can get varieties of them because Danny is still away, but he's coming back soon. So we want to know, should we stack up on different honey buns? Do you care about that? Because we're like, I don't know.
I've had honey buns I like. I've had honey buns I don't like. So
I feel like the honey bun is this snack cake that's everywhere, but never my choice. Yeah. But I was in the store and I was like, wow, look at this tasty cake snack, but honey buns, Hostess.
That could have been my food experience. Never mind. I just thought of something.
What? Way to go, Amy.
Yeah. It's honey bun related. It's actually honey bun related, but I'll save it.
Okay. If we talk about them, but yeah, people are like, man, it's.
There's I think Heather's thumbs up. Love Travel Slots says thumbs up. Right. Oh, I do love ribbon candy, Anthony. That is absolutely true.
I love really good ribbon candy. I've had bad ones, but ribbon candy can be tasty.
I love that. I love the little strawberries filled with jelly. Oh, grandma candy is my thing.
Yeah, you also love those Boston baked beans candy.
Oh yeah. Oh, Boston baked beans. Yeah, I agree.
I don't like those.
The packaged honey buns, they have them in like regular and iced too. Like I was just looking at them recently. They're not quite like cinnamon rolls. I don't know. They're a weird pastry.
Yeah, they're more of a spiral, right?
Yeah, maybe what we'll do, Brian, is we'll get some just to be like, we'll call it a Seinfeld episode. We'll be like, what's the deal with honey buns?
Well, I know Anthony will be back for that one for sure. He'd love Seinfeld.
Yeah. Let's do it that way. That's what we'll find out. We'll get to the bottom of it. What is the deal with honey buns?
They can taste like cinnamon rolls. They sometimes have like an icing, like not iced like cinnamon rolls, but like
the white.
No, right. It's a thinner glaze. It's like a glaze.
Yeah. Well, you can get them both ways. They have the glazed ones with like the clear, with like just like the honey, and then they have like the white frosting glaze, both.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this: I have never bought them for a Little Debbie buffet when I, was able to host a Little Debbie buffet, and no one ever was like, "Where's the honey buns?"
Where's the honey buns?
Yeah. I was going to tell my dentist story real quick.
Oh, right.
Okay.
You got a strong mouth, kid.
Okay. So I was in the waiting room, and there was a man and a woman there, and she looked quite a bit older than, he did. He was an adult.
Cougar.
He was an adult, so it was kind of like, why is his mom with him? But, maybe he was getting anesthesia or, none of my business, doesn't really matter. And it's downtown, so maybe parking or whatever. So she excuses herself to use the restroom and leaves her purse on a table right in the middle. And the receptionist sees this and asks the guy, "Oh, is that your mom's purse?" And he goes, "Mom?" And the receptionist is like, "Oh, I don't know why I said that. I'm sorry." And it was amazingly awkward, and I loved it because it didn't happen to me.
But did we find out who she was to him?
No, and I wasn't going to ask, but it definitely wasn't his mom, even though she looks like she could have been.
A little cougar action? Like maybe it's Chester Cougar?
Maybe it was his sister. Come on. No.
Maybe. I don't know. But
maybe it was his parole officer and he missed his big chance to get out.
He had a strong reaction to Mom. But I loved it.
Cool.
That was a great story, Brian.
Oh, my goodness. Not seeing people and seeing all those horrible social situations. I missed that and I didn't realize it. Oh.
Did she when she came back, did she just gaze him and be like, "You sure have a pretty mouth"?
They had called my name, and that's when the new hygienist was like, "Oh, I'm looking at your date of birth, but is it you? You look like a teenager." So I don't know what she was smoking that day, but I was just like, thanks. Yeah.
Did you get her number?
She was married, so,
Did you get her number?
Oh. I'm not going to say anything that might.
She watching the podcast. You're like, if you think the coffee is bad, you should see what else I do.
It's always awkward because my actual dentist and my last hygienist, they were both really like interested in the podcast. And they're always like, what have you had lately? And I always like tried to say things that weren't too sugary or
right. Well, with the new hygienist, to be like, not only do I look young, but I'm a bad boy.
Well, she also took my blood pressure and she was like, oh, you have a young heart too. Yeah.
Better luck next time.
Yeah. And then she said something really hilarious. She's like, do you exercise? Like, oh, we obviously just met.
Right. Maybe she was like, do you come here often? And you'd be like, every 6 months, look at my file. Like,
no.
well, thank you, YouTube.
Yeah. But the mom story was just too good.
Mom?
And the receptionist, like, horrified reaction was just...
Yep.
That's good stuff.
All right, so we should say that we're not positive I should say when our next episode will be. We think we'll be able
But there will be another one at some point.
Yeah, there will be one, but
There will be.
if we happen to not have one next week, don't panic. We'll be back. But
we're still friends.
yeah.
Yes. But one of us will be in transit.
Also, in a future episode, Brian is going to play Is It Bite Size with Devil Dogs, and he doesn't yet understand why I think that's funny.
And I don't think Danny realizes my capabilities. You don't think I can shove something like that in my mouth?
Bye, YouTube.
I got this. Have a great week, everyone.